Yo, what's up? My name's Jason McDaniel, Stoneman Construction here in Portland, Oregon. I'm with my boy here, Lee Grundmeyer with Durend Construction, durable to the end. I met Lee on Global Tile Posse, a Facebook group, GTP. Lee and I have become good friends in the industry, good friends outside of setting tile. When I met Lee, he hadn't taken the certified tile installer test, and that is what I want to talk about right now. I am a certified tile installer. CTI 1273. There's a lot of information about the test out there. Some people think it's good for the industry, and generally the people that aren't certified, they're not a fan of it, which I totally get that. You know, you haven't taken the time to take the test, you're not certified, so you don't like it. Makes a lot of sense. So Lee was somebody that, as I was getting to know, we worked together. You know, if Lee has a job that has a couple things on it that are challenging that maybe he hasn't run into, he gives me a call. We talk about that, and I come in and work with him on it. If I have a job that's a little challenging and I haven't run into a few things, I call Lee and he helps me out through that. So we've become good friends, and we also have become, we talk on the phone, we talk about business. He owns a business like mine. We talk about having employees, dealing with taxes and insurance and all those things, kind of like Tile Money. Tile Money is a great place to go to talk about all those things, but what I wanted to talk to Lee about right now was I pushed Lee pretty hard, and he'll attest to that, to take the certified tile installer test. So I want to talk to Lee really quick. Lee, first of all, how long have you been a contractor?
Oh, since 2003. So what, 15, 16 years?
Yeah. And is it all tile all the time?
No, we actually originally started when I first out. Doing carpet and vinyl and commercial aspects. And
so not tile starting out?
No.
Right. Did you, how did tile, like why tile? I mean, you were doing carpet and all these things, and obviously the application of tile is complex, in comparison to carpet, right? So tell me why you made that jump. Were you in a position where you needed to work, so you tried something new?
I actually bought my first house. Before we even moved in, we ripped it all apart, started remodeling. I was like, oh, I can do tile.
Right.
So I went and bought the tools, tile saw.
Yeah.
Did it. It's probably the hardest job I've done in my life. It's 18 by 18 travertine.
How long ago was that?
Jesus, what, 2006?
See, now check this out. I could probably talk to 10 tile setters, right? I bet you every one of them can remember the first job that they did, the tile that they were setting. I totally know mine. It was a 12 by 12. It was on a diagonal. It was 40 square feet, and it took me a freaking week. I totally remember that, right? So it was your personal house. Mm-hmm. So was it at that point where you were like, this is cool, I'm gonna murder myself for the rest of my life, so I'm gonna learn how to be a tile setter? Is that kind of the thought?
The funny thing was, I worked at Sherwin-Williams, which they did a lot of commercial apartments and big apartment complexes, and came up, one crew was busy, and they said, hey, can you do tile? I was like, I've done my house.
Right.
They're like, okay, can you do this? And I ended up doing, I think, a 1,500 square foot clubhouse.
Cool.
Basically.
So that's kind of how it started.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward now, you have a business where I think you have your brother involved and some other stuff, right? So you're a tile setter now. You get introduced to Global Tile Posse. You know that I'm in your area, right? And I'm sitting here always doing Facebook videos and all that crap. And you asked me to come out to one of your jobs. I helped you with some solid surface stuff. We started talking about the CTI. So you finally, what did I say? Did I tell you that I would pay for it if you didn't get anything out of it?
Yeah, you give me $500 if I didn't get anything out of it.
Right. So what I said was to Lee, I said, if you take the CTI and you don't get anything out of this, I'll pay for it. Right? The test is $495. So let me ask you, you took the test with Ian, who was another super skilled craftsman from Washington, the Chehalis area, Olympia area. Tell me about your experience with it.
It was I changed my whole attitude towards it, really. It's like, you sit back, you're doing all this stuff previously, it's like, oh my God.
Right.
Well, I don't even want to know what that looks like.
Yeah.
And so now it makes you, kind of forces you and double think yourself, am I doing it right? Is it going to last?
Right.
Is it my name? And then you start getting kind of an attitude like, no, it needs to be done right.
Absolutely.
People don't want to do it right. you can find someone else to do it.
Totally. So has it changed your attitude towards doing bids? I mean, do you feel now that what's your certification number?
1540.
1540. Ian's is 15.
I'm the real 1539.
So has your attitude changed towards towards how when you are setting tile? I know, to me, I talk about this a lot. It's a personal thing to me. I know people think that that's strange, but setting tile, and Brandon is standing over here, and he knows how I speak about setting tile. It's very personal to me. When I do it, I want people to have a physical reaction when they see the work that I do. Has your attitude and your confidence as a tile setter, how has it changed since you became a CTI?
It's changed dramatically. I have more, I guess you can say, confidence too going into a job. Like, if I can't figure it out, I can figure it out.
Right.
There's plenty of people to talk to, or industry reps, or if I have a question about something, I can call Paul Luttrell from Latticrete or William White from Ardex.
Right.
If they don't know, I can call another installer. Between you or someone, it's like we'll get an answer.
Right. So you
feel the way to do it.
It's a family, right? I mean, it's a brother and sisterhood. I mean, we're all in this together, and we're trying to. We're gonna have a story on SetSomeTile.com coming out pretty soon about a customer who was in the hospital for 6 months because of mold poisoning from a failed shower. So what I'm getting at when I say those kinds of things is that Lee is somebody who, very accomplished tile setter before he met me and before he discovered the certification. I mean, I've seen Lee's work. It's impeccable. It's beautiful. So he was already a very accomplished craftsman and business owner before he discovered the certified tile test. What Lee is saying is that he is becoming better now because he discovered the industry and what taking a test like that can do for your confidence, for your business, for your numbers. Obviously, your prices can go up because you have taken the time to educate yourself. So, Lee, I mean, going forward, would you recommend the test to another installer?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's kind of funny because even like on Global Tile Posse or the Tile Mafia or whatever, there's always those people that are like, oh no, it's worthless.
Right.
You're wasting your money. I can't take a day off. I can't. What's
Totally.
$500? Someone can pay for it for me.
Right.
But it kind of irritates you when you go and do it.
Because you've done it.
You've done it.
Right.
And you've had the experience, and it's like, why not do it?
Totally.
It's just like going to an education class.
That's
like
a really,
Schluter.
I love that. You just said, why not do it?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, talk about that. Like, you're 100%.
You can't take a day off.
Right.
You're doing business wrong.
And not just that, but it's for your business.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Education, the more you learn, the
better off you're
better
going
off
to be.
you are.
Totally. So let me ask you a super funny story about you and I is that you sent me a picture of a job that I had installed like 8 or 9 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that job in that picture.
What was it, 10 years ago probably?
I think I probably
If not
installed
longer.
it 10, 11, 12 years ago. Yeah.
Well, I had a mutual friend of ours did the demo on it, sends me the picture, he goes, see Stoneman's work? And I looked at it, I was like, no way, because we're so anti-spot bonding.
Right, for sure.
And it's like, we've all done it.
Yeah.
I probably done it 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah,
And it's
totally,
like,
right.
Now
right.
it's like, you see how it fails, it's never the right way.
Yeah.
And just like nowadays, religiously check your coverage and
Key in, directional trowel,
even when
back
you're
butter.
doing uncoupling membrane,
Totally.
it's like push it in, check it.
Check it.
No.
Absolutely.
You don't want to be your foundation.
So the entire 400 square foot floor, roughly 300 to 400, 350, the floor, it was all spot bonded.
all spot on.
By me. I mean, I joke about how I had never seen a trowel, right? I mean, it was a V-notch or a margin trowel. I mean, I set more tile with a margin trowel in my career. I mean, I eat food with the margin trowel because I'm so used to having that thing in my hand. And it's a good utensil. So you saw the job all spot bonded, but you understand that even you do things like that, but we can all grow. We can all get better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here I am, years later, and I try to practice all industry methods, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you did some spot bonding in your career?
Oh yeah. I tell you the God's honest truth, that tile job I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you could probably, if it's still even down, you could probably hear the hollowness.
Absolutely. Right. So spot bonding is,
I mean, you think it's working.
You think it is.
You think it is.
You can tune up a job really well with spot bonding. Really quick, I'm going to grab Brandon Cook and bring him in here real quick. So Brandon is standing here. I know this is a long video, but this is really cool information. Brandon, Stoneman Construction employee. So Brandon, You took the CTI, right?
Yeah.
You're a 3.5 year guy, right?
2 years full.
Okay,
setter.
so 2 years full setter. That is a small. I mean, think about this, Lee. How many years had you been setting tile before you took the CTI?
13.
15?
13.
13? I'd been setting tile for 9 or 10 years. Here we have Brandon, who's been setting a full-time tile setter for 2 years, took the CTI. He didn't pass his first time out, but that's why he's standing here. Brandon, how anxious are you to take it again?
I'm super anxious. Taking it made me better even though I failed.
Right.
It kind of showed me a lot of things I was doing wrong, but it also just made me thirsty to get a lot better.
Totally. So Brandon's attitude towards setting tile is incredible. When he got here, he had worked for some really great companies in the Portland area. And obviously coming into a new crew, the expectation that we have is pretty high, right? So Brandon has done amazing. One thing I want to say about Brandon is that Brandon is super thirsty to learn. And Brandon has been able to kind of throw away some of the stuff that he's learned and come into a new situation. Because Lee, we know how difficult it is to come into a new situation, right? Where you've got all this information and you think you're right, of course, right? I mean, you've got it all, you've done it all, you know what's going on. Brandon's had the ability to kind of step down from that, as well as myself and Lee, to be able to step down from what you think you know and start learning new things from other people in the industry. So Brandon, tell me about that. Tell me, what's it been like having to kind of relearn some things?
Like the first day I worked with Jeremy, he was like, "Why are you using your grinder upside down?"
That's right.
Because I was cutting with the grinder right-handed, and he showed me if you cut with the grinder left-handed, the blade's spinning a lot better direction.
Shoots the dust away from you.
And your cut's so much cleaner.
Right.
And since that day, I haven't cut right-handed.
Totally. So what about what's it like working for me?
Awesome.
Yeah? You enjoy that?
Yeah.
Cool. I know I can be a pain in the butt, but the expectation is high, and I have to say about Brandon that he is meeting and exceeding every expectation that we've had of him. He is really anxious to take the CTI test again. The reason why I brought Brandon into this video was because I want to show that if you have, if you don't pass the CTI your first time, you didn't fail. Okay? You didn't have a negative result. Okay? You can get a positive out of that by learning throughout the entire process, and then now you're 10 times more thirsty to take it again.
Oh yeah.
Right? So you can tell us without a doubt that you're a better installer having had not passed your first time.
100%.
Right. So you're going to take it again, hopefully in the next couple months. I can tell you right now, Brandon is one of those installers that is gearing up to be a business owner. There are some installers that would rather, probably not be a business owner and be able to run their own business. But what's really great about Brandon is that Brandon and I have talked a lot about him moving on at some point and owning a business like Durand or Stoneman Construction. And what's really cool is that Lee, myself, Adam, my brother, Jeremy, we all get to see Brandon grow in this industry. And that is what all of this is about, right? It's all about trying. Brandon, have I ever held you back? No. I want you to be the best Brandon that you can be, in not just in tile, but in life, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that I have all the answers, but, Lee and I, we've been through it. We know, we right? Mm-hmm. We've made mistakes with taxes and we've done things. And so what's really great is that now we can take everything that we've learned and hand it over to Brandon, and we know for sure that Brandon will pay his taxes when he starts his business, because I will call him every single day to make sure that he's doing it.
Your quarterlies.
Pay your freaking quarterlies. That's a whole nother conversation. But this has been a long interview with these two guys. But what's really important is that we have a YouTube channel that shows, the how-tos of doing things, right? And not that I'm doing it all right the whole time, right? But we've learned that silicone and directional troweling and all these things. I also want this YouTube channel to be about the family, the business, right? The group of mechanics that we have around us. How can we learn together? How can we grow together to be not only better tile setters, but better business owners? Can you, out there watching this video, do you have somebody that's young in the game, that's eager? Can you help that person grow into being a successful business owner and tile setter or construction company owner? Sometimes that's what this is about. It's not all about learning how to silicone or trowel or do those things. It's also thinking about Lee, myself, we can help Brandon become a successful business owner in this industry because it's about building people up, pushing the industry. So when you check out this YouTube channel, Stoneman Presents, you're not just gonna see videos about setting tile. You're gonna see videos about tile as a family, as a whole, and how we can help each other become better. So I wanna say that I love these two cats right here. I love the man behind the camera. I tell you what, Adam is gonna get interviewed one of these days, but it's not gonna be today. So I just wanna say thanks for tuning in. This is rad. Posse up.